when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son, and all the men of his house born in the house and bought with money of the stranger were circumcised with him. We are now on chapter 18, verses 1 through 8 is titled, The Lord Appears to Abraham. And the Lord appeared unto Abraham in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself towards the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Verses 9 through 22 is titled, Sarah is reproved for laughing at the strange prophets. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety bear a child which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Verse 15. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. And the men rose up from hence, and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now, and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from hence, and went toward Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. I'm going to read verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. I wrote notes saying how this pretty much tells us that we must trust in God, for the impossible will become possible. Will become possible. That's why even in the most hardest times where you think everything seems low and you know it's not, you feel like it's not going to happen, but the thing is, though, that's why you put trust in God, and the impossible will become possible, because with God all things are possible. I'm pretty sure there's a verse somewhere there. Someone can put it in the comments below of where that comes from. So keep hanging in there, pray, don't stop, just keep moving forward, and just know that impossible things will become possible when you trust in God and in Jesus. I wanted to finish out chapter 18, but it looks like I won't be able to, so when we come back, I will finish up chapter 18, where verses 23 and 33 is titled, Abraham intercedes for the people of Sodom. Here's my proof that I have been working, because here's my list that I need to do. I finished the ice cream list. Now I gotta go out there and check off if I need any of these ice creams or not. Once again, I hope you all have a blessed day, evening, night. Bye. Until then, bye-bye.